Alright, we find ourselves back at Mr. King's to pick up 2 trucks. This one and this one. Get that truck out, we need to move that truck, and this truck. The mistake of leaving my camera running while we were searching for keys. I ended up calling him and he was able to tell me a couple of different trucks to check, and we ended up finding them. But after searching for them and talking to Hoyt, my camera ended up dying, so we did the work off camera. Alright, they both made it home, no damage. My buddy Matt came over and gave me a hand, which was a huge help, not having to lock the steering and drag these things by myself. That was also a huge help. We got really lucky, and in Mr. King's entire property, he told me, I don't know where that Ford key is. You can check these couple trucks though. And the first truck I checked happened to have like 40 keys, and one of them was to this truck. Today we're back in the shop. Not to do anything with this go-kart, but to work on that engine right there. It's Mr. King's 6.9 IDI turbo engine. I have the truck that we are going to be transplanting that engine into. But first, we're gonna take off valve covers, take a visual inspection of everything and make sure it all looks good before we put it in. Let's get to it. Figured I'd take it a step further to spruce these up. I'm gonna go degrease the crap out of them, scuff them up a little bit. I'm probably gonna paint them with Ford blue, which I don't have any of. So I'm gonna have to run to Tractor Supply real quick. Just wanting to clean it up a little bit so when I end up giving it to this man, he doesn't have issues and it looks fairly decent. I've got the motor out and this is all easy to do while it's out. See if I can get this to focus on camera. One little groove and some very, very light pitting, but I don't think Mr. King is going to want to do them. So I will contact him, see if he wants me to replace them while the bottom's off, and he's probably going to tell me no, but I will see. If he does, then we will call up Napa and order up some race bearings and get them replaced. Alright, as I kind of expected, Mr. King said, unless there is deep grooves, he does not care. And honestly, I think those bearings will be fine. So I'm gonna go grab the torque wrench, I'm gonna torque this down. So what happened there is I just stretched that rod stud and broke it. It just would not take torque. About 4 hours ago, I was going to torque this down, which you just saw on video. This bolt just decided it was done. I have called every parts store in town. I've talked to Applied, our industrial supplier around town. I've also talked to Wear Parts, which is just a hardware store. Nobody can get these. I ended up finding them on gensales.com, which is for, you know, tractors and whatnot. So I'm gonna get those ordered tonight.
Several long days later.
Okay, so long story short, I figured, okay, whatever. I will call AutoZone or Advanced Auto or O'Reilly's or whoever, Napa. One of them will have them. Well, I spent about 4 hours the first day calling every store in town, including Wear Parts and Applied. Wear Parts is like an actual hardware outfitter. I went to Applied, which is an industrial outfitter. They said they might be able to get it and ended up not being able to. Eventually, I had the idea to check on eBay, and there was one listing for a bag, all 16 of the rod bolts for $60. The fact that I could get them in a good time was already good. The fact that they were only $60 was another huge plus. We have this thing all lubed up with assembly grease on the lower end here. I changed both of the rod studs and then torqued them down. And this time when I torqued it, it torqued down just fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and call that good. But now, probably can't really see that very well, but we have a cork gasket that I'm gonna have to find my scraper and get off of here. I'll be back with you when I'm putting the oil pan on. to get this long into the shop so that we can start working on taking the engine out. Gonna get all the snow that I can off the truck so it doesn't melt in the shop. Then I'll go grab the backhoe, open up the door, scooch her in. Got it flipped around so that we can work on it on the other side. Okay, we got it in. Now we're gonna start tearing this front end apart, pulling everything off. Hopefully we can get the engine out today. That'll probably have to be tomorrow, but we'll start. We'll get something today. Got underneath and got the motor mount bolts, transmission bolt, and the exhaust bolts. All the piddly shit up here, we're just gonna tensile strength test all of it, and whatever doesn't want to give, we will disconnect. I still have to disconnect like the alternator and pretty much everything, but it's gonna be easier once we start getting this lifted out of here, so we're gonna do that next. Yesterday, while in a hurry, I completely forgot to take the flex plate bolts out. So we're gonna do that real quick and then try to pull this engine this morning. Alright, disclaimer. I'm not a mechanic. I just know how to do stuff. I totally forgot the flex plate bolts, so that's what I've been doing all morning, is disconnecting those as well as the starter and the dust cover.
And now I think it's ready to be able to pull out, so we're gonna give it a shot. Alright, we're disconnected. There was one more starter bolt coming from the back side of the bell housing. I got that one out. And now I think Dobby is a free elf. So now we just need to disconnect the other shit. Meant to do that. I was just setting that right there. That is officially everything that was once holding this back disconnected. Dobby is a completely free elf now. It is Monday morning, just after 10, and I want to get this video out tomorrow, so this is going to be the end of the video. The engine's out. This thing is gonna go sit to the side until I get the 6.9 IDI turbo engine in this running. As I pull this truck out to take it to Mr. King, I will put this in the back of the truck. He said he wants it back at his property. This will probably be the last you see of this engine. The next episode will be modifying the transmission that is in here so that it'll fit on the 6.9 IDI and putting that engine and transmission in here after cleaning everything up. And transmission's pretty leaky. Probably end up doing a seal on that when I have it out. But thank you for joining me. Please like and subscribe to help me grow in the algorithm and whatnot. Or if you enjoy this content or want to see this truck when it's done, or my semi truck, or the sawmill. That's the other thing I'm still working on. This one obviously got delayed because there was the issue with the piston rod stud stretching and me having to order parts and all that. So here's this. Have a great day. And remember, don't let your meat loaf.